Hello, hello. I'm Chris with the Legacy team, and today we're going to be continuing our process of producing the kitchen cabinetry project. Now, in the last video, we showed all the sheet processing that took place on the Maverick 4x8 CNC system. In this video, we're going to focus specifically on assembling those cabinet boxes, and we'll be tag teaming with Michael Zamarza and Tracy Anderson to walk us through those sequences.
Mike, I'm looking at this part, and I don't know if you can see that, but a lot of holes. What are they going to do?
Right. And having a CNC to do this is really the best. I've done this for many years just on a saw and cutting my parts out and a boring machine and all of that to make these holes. So there's jigs that are made, you can hand drill them all kinds of ways. But with the CNC, it's pretty much like magic. So here we have, for instance, pilot hole. We've got the holes that are used for the drawer glide profile. This is a couple of pilot holes also for a stretcher. And here we have our top hinge clip holes. We also have, the CNC is going to machine our blind dados very, very effectively. And then at the back of the sheet here, we have a rebate for our 3/4 inch back that's on this cabinet. It also has holes for pilot screws too to hold it together.
But I noticed that you have these pilot holes, but on the back side here, there's a countersink. Is this CNC, or how do you do this?
Right, well, CabinetSense software will manage the flipping of parts, so we could do a machining from both sides. This is sometimes just the best way to do it is just with a simple tool. And that's all we need, very quick.
Right, well I guess next step is to head over to the edge bander and...
We're gonna start edge banding.
Okay, let's do it. Well, why don't we go ahead and give it a shot. We've got the glue heated up.
Yep.
We just need to turn on the drives here. Okay, so this is looking pretty good, Michael. That's pretty awesome. But I noticed you got this little specialty tool. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, you know, it's really just a laminate file. So this is actually the file I've used probably for at least 10 years or more. It's been sharpened a couple times, so I'm getting down a little bit short here. But that's the way I do it. Very, very simple, very durable. We've got our fine side here, coarser here. So I just hold the file at a slight bevel. I like to work from right to left, go across that edge. Using the fine part of my file, I go back from left to right, and I can hear that there's no edge banding left above that surface.
What about this edge right here?
Well, if it were long, the edge bander is doing a tremendous job of trimming that. We could, using the coarse edge, making sure that we stay flat on the end of the panel, we can just hit it a couple times.
So we put on the edge band, and we're ready to start the assembly. So tell me about your tools real quickly, because I know you've got some pretty nice equipment back in your shop. We don't have that here. So tell us about tools so we know what we're doing.
So every shop is going to have its own custom setup probably for assembling boxes.
Okay.
You may have a custom bench, you may have everything all set up the way you want to do it. What we were trying to do here is just use what we had available and see if we could assemble these boxes accurately. One of the most important things that we do is the alignment of the deck and the top to the ends, and making sure that this edge banding is nice and flush. So we're starting out with a couple of parallel clamps.
Okay.
And with these parallel clamps, we're putting one of the ends on top of those parallel clamps.
Okay.
We're going to use squares like this, but there's many different types of squares that could be used to keep the box square while we're assembling. I have a couple of shims too that'll help along the way to nudge things into place. Maybe it's good to have a little mallet if you need to. Right. And then,
obviously,
yes, we have a screw gun which we will use for assembly. We have a couple of glue choices that I like to use.
Okay.
This is Tight Bond Original, and It's just readily available. I do most of my joinery with this. And then I like to have something handy that doesn't run easily. This is quick and thick, and I use that in areas where I have to either stand parts vertically or upside down as I'm assembling, so the glue doesn't end up in my hair.
And drip out.
That's
so
right.
It sticks better.
Yeah.
And this, I notice this is a tight bond product as well, quick and
yes,
thick.
it is a tight
Are there
bond.
others as well?
They have another variety too that I buy, whichever's available and has a good price. And then of course, you know, good screws. That's important. I'm using 1.5 inch zipper screw here from Hafele. I love these screws. They do an excellent job.
Well, why don't you show me how much glue you're going to lay in there so I don't...
So I just put a quick bead in the bottom of our mortise here.
Straight on the bottom, you don't worry about the edges. And there's our edge banding, which has to line up with that. So go ahead and just insert it.
Yes, sir.
And this is where we're going to check for this flush face right here.
And then next we'll grab a corner clamp.
You got one there? So we can tighten this up a little bit.
You're right. So I like to tighten the joint up here toward the inside of the case.
And that's where these shims are going to
Yes, right.
Because we want to press on the sides, not on the ends.
Exactly.
Right. So I'm going to stick a shim here, make sure it's not down on the bottom of the deck. Or the bottom of the end piece, not the deck.
Right. Okay, you got your clamp in?
I'm good. Go.
Okay.
You ready to clamp? Tighten that up. Okay, so we're just going to tilt it up. I'm going to make sure this feels flush.
Yep,
that
double
feels
check.
good.
Most important thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now we're going to use another pair of parallel clamps to pull this joint together, just to help us a little bit. Let's just so everybody can kind of see. Let's turn it around.
Okay.
And you can see a little bit about what we're seeing here on the bottom. So we have these holes have already been pre-drilled, pre-countersunk, and so now we can go ahead and put in our screw. And certainly you can move clamps as needed to give yourself pressure where it's appropriate.
Are we going to leave these clamps, or are we going to take
I
them
would
off?
take these off now because we're going to set it on the other. I think we're going to set it on the other side here.
Okay. Okay. Then are we going to
Just like so. Okay, so we're going to use our thicker glue for this joint just to show that we have some options if we need to. So
lays down pretty easy.
yeah, very nice. So I'm going to need this end here.
Okay. Do you dare flip it?
Yep,
Okay.
no problem at all with this glue. I've never had it run out. It's excellent, easy way to work.
Tap that a little bit. Okay, I'm flush here. And this is where we'll need the shims again, right?
Yep.
Okay, double check. That looks good.
Yep. Okay, so our face is all nice and flush, edge banding all nice and clean. So we'll set it on the front.
Okay.
And this is also an installation here. We're doing this carcass here is done with a 3/4 inch back. We sometimes use 1/4 inch, depends upon the cabinet, what it's being used for.
All right, so last we'll put the back on. It's got countersunk holes up here for the ends, but
Right.
countersunks for the
Countersunk
side.
here, right. Nice tight fit.
Oh yeah, it is nice.
What I like to do is I want to square the back, the top of the back here, flush to the end on one corner. So we'll get that perfectly flush on one corner. And then I'll pin this in place with a screw. Now here at the other side, that's not flush. And so what we need to do is either take a clamp, you can put a clamp corner to corner, too much, come back a little. That is perfect right there. So now we know that we have this box, this carcass, a square. I'm going to pin this other side. And I can go across the whole top. Going back down to this corner here, and we'll pin it again. Now we can take off the clamp and we can finish putting the rest of the screws in.
We got it.
Okay. And there we go. Got a drawer bank, it looks like, ready to go. Next thing we'll be doing is building a drawer.
Okay.
We'll slide, put our glides in. We should be good to go.
Okay. I guess we'll just repeat that on all these boxes.
That's correct.
Call it good.
All right.
Thanks.
Using the method shown here, we were able to assemble each cabinet box between 15 and 20 minutes apiece. In the next video, we're going to show the installation of these cabinet boxes, so keep an eye out for that. Now, if you're interested in learning more about a legacy CNC and how it can improve your manufacturing processes like cabinetry assembly, visit our website at legacywoodworking.com. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them right down below. But you can also talk to a CNC expert by calling 801-491-0010. If you're interested in seeing more of these types of videos, just click right over there. Don't hesitate to like, subscribe, check that notification box. And as always, thanks for watching. And remember, Legacy solves more woodworking problems than any other CNC manufacturer in the industry.